to today's episode of Heard and Seen Around. I am Rajesh Karipurath. This is my take on macroeconomic and geoeconomic data points, which I find interesting. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed curating it. Cheers.
AI might take over the world, but have you seen humans drive in traffic? Maybe it's an upgrade. History repeats itself because it knows we weren't paying attention the first time. Every civilization thought it was the smartest one. That's why we keep finding their ruins. We built the internet to share knowledge. We use it to argue about pizza toppings. Spiritual enlightenment used to take decades. Now it's a 10-minute podcast episode.
Here's a plot twist the bond market wasn't expecting. Corporate giants are now borrowing cheaper than actual governments. Yes, Airbus, LVMH, L'Oreal, even Siemens are getting lower yields than their sovereigns. It's like investors looked at national budgets, then their corporate balance sheets and said, no thanks, I'll take the perfume company over the parliament. This is what happens when governments run big deficits, politics gets messy, and corporates quietly stack record cash piles. In other words, fiscal discipline is now a luxury good. Here's a fun global currency report card. And by fun, I mean only if you're Brazil or Mexico. Because the Brazilian real and the Mexican peso are actually crushing it, up double digits against the dollar. Clearly, someone's been eating their macroeconomic spinach. On the other hand, Japan, Korea, India and Indonesia, well, let's just say their currencies look like they've been on a strict downward diet. The yen in particular is down so much, it's practically writing apology letters to the Bank of Japan. Europe sits awkwardly in the middle, not winning, not losing, just quietly existing like that student who shows up but never raises their hand. Remember the time when hill stations and small towns were India's escape from pollution? Well, 2025 just cancelled that fantasy. Even the cleanest cities, Aizawl, Sopore, Kulu, saw their AQI shoot up like they suddenly discovered industrial ambition. Sopore jumped from 24 to 74 and Kulu from 28 to 95. Why? Brick kills, biomass burning, unpaved roads, diesel pumps, basically everything except a villain monologue. Meanwhile, Delhi is still leading the pollution league table with PM 2.5 levels that convert directly into a cigarette distribution. Experts say breathing Delhi air in 2025 equals 11 cigarettes a day. Here's a plot twist that the OECD, that is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, did not see coming. India has quietly become the backbone of global healthcare. And when I say backbone, I mean the full skeletal system. In 2000, about 56,000 Indian doctors worked in OECD countries. By 2020, nearly 99,000. Germany and China are in the chart too, but let's be honest, they're basically background characters. And nurses, the Philippines still leads as always, but India's numbers exploded from 23,000 to 122,000. OECD hospitals are practically running on dal, rice and shift duty. US banks have quietly built a second headquarters in India, and the numbers are wild. JP Morgan has 60,000 employees here. That's more than some Indian IT giants had in their early years. Citibank, 33,000. Bank of America, 29,000. Even Goldman Sachs, the land of $10 coffees and $200 spreadsheets, has 8,000 people in India. Put simply, global finance may be priced in New York, but it is processed in India. These GCCs, Global Capability Centers, aren't just back offices anymore. They're running tech, risk, analytics, compliance, and half the engines that keep Wall Street awake. Apple's India story has gone from experiment to full-blown manufacturing romance. Look at this data. iPhone exports jumped from just $0.4 billion in FY22 to a massive $10 billion by FY26. In just 4 years, Apple went from, let's try assembling a few phones, to pack your bags China, I'm moving in. And here's the kicker. iPhones now make up 75% of India's total smartphone exports. Apple has quietly become India's biggest blue-collar job creator. 2 lakh direct jobs and 72% of them women. 5 mega factories and 45 new suppliers. And the biggest goods exporter to the US at $10.5 billion. Here's a fun little map from McKinsey showing where AI agents are actually scaling. Unsurprisingly, tech, media and healthcare are leading the AI adoption parade. If AI were a rock concert, these industries are the front row fans screaming lyrics they don't fully understand. Look at IT and software engineering. 22% and 24% adoption. Basically, AI is now writing code that writes more AI. We have entered the recursion era. Marketing, service ops, and product development are also deep in this game. Because who wouldn't want a bot that never sleeps, never complains, and never asks for a raise? Here's a chart that perfectly sums up 2025. The US, China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, everyone is riding the AI rocket ship. Market caps inflated, valuations levitating, and analysts speaking in GPU units. And then there's India, calm, quiet, reading a book in the corner. While other markets saw trillions added because of AI linked mega firms, India barely budged. That's because it barely has any. And what used to look like a big disadvantage now looks okay. HSBC puts it well. India is a good AI hedge. Translation: if the global AI bubble indeed pops, India won't need a seatbelt because it wasn't on the roller coaster anyways.